It's a blessed Monday today, and I'm most excited to welcome you to Faith Capsules powered by the Shaper's Ark. This is Wonuola Adetayo, the Shaper. Our scripture for today is 1 John chapter 4 and verse 7. 1 John 4 verse 7. Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone that loveth is born of God and knoweth God. Our scripture for today makes 3 declarations about love. Number 1, love one another. As children of God, we are to love one another with no conditions attached. In John 15 verse 12, loving one another is a commandment for every child of God. In John 13:34-35, Jesus declares that loving one another is what confirms that we are the disciples of Christ. Second, love is of God. This means love is divine, hence can only be unraveled as we submit to the author of love. 1 John 4:8 declares that those who don't love in this manner do not know God, because God is love personified. Hence, anyone who has no connection nor encounter with Christ cannot receive the capacity for love. Third declaration, being born of God and having a knowledge of God grants you the capacity to love. When a person submits himself or herself to the rulership of God, he or she receives the ability and the capacity to love unconditionally. 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 22 refers to this as unpretentious love of brethren coming out of sincere and pure hearts. Now, let's examine 2 practical steps to loving like God as encapsulated in the acronym LOVE. LO means leave offenses and VE means value everyone. Step number 1, leave offenses. It's a personal choice to intentionally nurture a conscience that harbors no offense. My friend, to love as required by God, you must look through the lenses of God, who chooses to overlook your many offenses. It's a choice to forgive others as God chooses to forgive you. Whilst it's normal to be hurt when others offend you, it's best to ask God for grace to look beyond the offender and obey God's injunction to forgive. Matthew 6:14-15. Joseph had to forgive his brother's treachery. Esau had to forgive Jacob's treachery. And so must you if you truly want to love like God. Abraham and Isaac lied that their wives were sisters, exposing them to untold dangers. Yet the sins had to be forgiven and the couple had to move on with their marriages. They all had to leave these offenses to obtain clear consciences before God. Those who harbor offenses are at risk of not receiving forgiveness or answered prayers from God, according to Matthew chapter 18 verse 35 and Mark chapter 11 verses 25 and 26. Step number 2, value everyone. To love unconditionally, you must value everyone as equal creation and equal heirs, according to Romans chapter 8 verses 16 and 17. All that we have and all that we are have come by the sheer grace and mercies of God. 1 Corinthians 15:10 and Romans 9:16. A little servant girl was used to save an army general from an incurable disease. A little slave girl was positioned to save the whole nation of Jews. A common gate man foiled a coup attempt on a king. None of these feats would have happened if those seeming insignificant personalities did not feel valued. My friend, in 2 days' time, the whole world will be celebrating Love Day. Why not go out there and declare the true unconditional love from your God, who is the personification of love? Till I come your way again next week, this is Wonuola Adetayo, the Shaper. Shalom.